What's happening? This is MGTOW Slim. In this sesh, I'm going to give the first of a three-part series on understanding occultism, idolatry, and the Illuminati. In this first segment, I'm going to give you the background knowledge that's going to kind of unlock the remaining two segments. The background knowledge that I'm going to give you is going to be in the form of a metaphor. The Holy Bible gives lots of metaphors. Jesus gave metaphors. God's prophets in the Old Testament gave metaphors. Metaphors are symbolic stories to help us to visualize and understand topics that would otherwise be, complex and weighted down with details. So here's the metaphor. Well, I'll start with the facts. The first fact is this: we live in a physical universe. All right? This physical universe is not separate from the spiritual world. It is, in fact, inside of the spiritual world. The physical universe and all of the things that make it a physical universe are all part of a cage. We are in a cage, a prison, in fact, within the spiritual world. The reason that we are in a prison is because we were sent here as in a person being sent to a holding cell to await a court trial. Even though you and I were born into a physical world, we didn't originate here. We as mankind originated in a part of the spiritual world that was directly in the presence of God, just like his angels in heaven are in his presence. All right, we started there. We were disobedient. We got sent here to this holding cell to await our trial. Now, even though we are not in prison, we are in jail temporarily. The jail is located on the site of an actual penitentiary. This penitentiary is full of the worst criminals known to the world. We're talking about the hardcore terrorists, talking about serial killers, and all other assortment of psychopaths. Now, let us summarize. We are in the spiritual world in a container within the spiritual world, all right, that is made up of physical properties. Now, the holding cell that we are in is separate. It's on the same property as the penitentiary, but we are separate. Just like in a federal or state penitentiary, the government informants and sometimes child molesters are, and sometimes like the transsexuals and homosexuals will sometimes be kept in a section that's separate from general population, because, as you know, general population is not friendly to these types of people, especially the so-called snitches. And if they get their hands on them, it's unthinkable what they will do to them, so they keep them separate. Now, in the holding cell that we are in, we are separate from general population. The general population are the penitentiary inmates. They are all hardcore. They are all lifers, and they've all been sentenced to death. None of these guys have anything to lose. All right, and they've been here for a very, very long time. They know all the ins and outs of this place. We're new to this. We're fresh meat. We're like white collar dudes who've never really had any brushes with the law, and we're just here now. You know what I'm saying? We don't stand a chance here. So we're in a separate unit, but we're in a special separate unit. We're not apart from the lifers in here. Our unit is dead in the center of the penitentiary, and all of the lifers are surrounding us in a perfect circle. And the only thing that separates them from us are these steel bars that they can't get through. They can't physically get to us. They can't harm us. But they can watch us and they can talk to us. All right? Finally, while we're here in this holding cell, waiting for our court date, we've been given an instruction manual of rules and regulations. For those of us who for some reason choose not to read the instruction manual and study it, we have a counselor who comes every single day and teaches us about these rules and regulations. And finally, we have an attorney who's even better than Johnny Cochran, who has done some legal process in the form of a class action lawsuit that has guaranteed all of our freedom on the day of our court date. But we have to actually sign on with this lawyer. Otherwise, we're on our own. Now, of course, in this metaphor, the lawyer is Jesus. The counselor is the Holy Spirit. The rule and regulation guidebook is the Holy Bible. We, in this holding cell, are human beings, and the lifers are the fallen angels, the wicked spirits and their bastard children, all these wicked spirits. Now, let us stop here and think about this metaphor I just gave you, because it's going to help you tremendously to understand what I'm going to talk about in the next 2 sections, which I might even make 3, but the next couple sections that are going to tell you everything you need to know about idolatry, about occultism, and about the Illuminati. Stay tuned.